guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through the steps on how to make delicious and easy jelly. We are going to be making dewberry jelly today, but this is a great recipe that you can use with just a few modifications to make blackberry jelly, plum jelly, strawberry jelly. So this recipe can be tweaked for lots of different flavors. So let's talk about dewberries. Dewberries are often mistaken for blackberries. They look identical to blackberries and they have a very similar flavor. I feel like blackberries tend to be a little sweeter than dewberries, but when you place them into a jelly, you really can't tell the difference in taste. I found a sweet little dewberry patch that was loaded with ripe dewberries. So we picked a bowl full and I'm going to make a few jars of dewberry jelly to tide us over until blackberry season comes in. So let's get started with today's recipe. Before you get started, you want to gather all of the materials that you will need to make your jelly. This will include 6 to 7 small jelly jars, 1 large boiler, 4.5 cups of sugar, 10 cups of dewberries, 1 box of Gulf wax or any other canning wax will work, 1 box of original Sure Gel, 1 funnel, 1 small saucepan to use for melting your wax, 1 colander, and a large strainer. So for this recipe, you're going to need 10 cups of dewberries. And as you can see, dewberries are almost identical to blackberries in appearance, and they're very similar in taste as well. Be sure to look inside of your Sure Gel box for a recipe card. This card will show you the measurements that you'll need for juice and sugar for many different types of jellies. First, start by washing and preparing your jars, bands, and lids. Next, wash your berries thoroughly. Place your berries in your large boiler and cover with water. Place on your stovetop and bring to a rolling boil. Allow the berries to boil until all of the juice has been extracted. You can tell when they're ready by looking at their color. These once dark dewberries have turned into a lighter shade of red. Now it's time to measure out your juice. Place 3 3/4 cup of dewberry juice back into your large boiler. Place 1 bar of Gulf wax into your saucepan. Turn it on about medium heat and allow the wax to melt. Bring your dewberry juice to a rolling boil. In the meantime, you can begin prepping your jars for your jelly. I like to place a towel down just to catch any drips of jelly that may spill during the process. Once your berry juice has reached a rolling boil, you can now add 1 package of Sure Gel. Be sure to stir thoroughly. Once you've added your Sure Gel, allow the mixture to return to a rolling boil. Once it has reached a rolling boil, you can now add 4.5 cups of sugar. Add your sugar slowly, stirring thoroughly. This will reduce it from clumping and allow it to dissolve more quickly. Once you've added all of your sugar, allow the mixture to return to a rolling boil. Once it begins to boil, allow it to cook for an additional 1 minute. Then remove the mixture from the heat and you're ready to begin filling your jelly jars. Use your funnel to fill your jars with your jelly mixture. It is important that you not overfill your jars. You're going to need some space left at the top for wax. Once you have filled your jars, use a napkin or dry cloth to remove any berry mixture that may be around the inside edges. Then, using your melted wax, pour wax into the top of each of your jars. You may notice that some of the jars bubble and splatter. This is okay. The wax mixture will stay at the top of the jars and will not mix in with your jelly mixture. You want to ensure that you have about 1/8 of an inch of wax at the top of each of your jars. During this stage, you must work quickly. It is important that as soon as you add your hot jelly mixture from your pot, that you immediately add in your wax. This will ensure that your jars are sealed and no bacteria is in your jelly. While the wax is still hot, use a napkin or towel to wipe away any excess wax that may be around the top brim of your jars. Then add your lids and your bands and tighten. You will want to leave your jelly somewhere out on your counter or in your cabinet for several hours for it to set. Your jelly should set up for at least 24 to 48 hours before you eat. Since we used wax, once the wax hardens, your jars are sealed. So even if they do not pop, it's okay. They are sealed. Allow them to sit for a few days before enjoying. I always like to top off my canned goods with a cute little label. Just makes it a little more personable and adds that homemade touch to it. I use these canning labels, which I love. I've had these for a few years now. They are available in regular mouth and wide mouth. I will include the link for these free printables in the description box below. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you take time yourself to make your own homemade jelly. If you don't have an opportunity to get out and pick your own berries or fruit, no worries. You can follow the same recipe using fruit or berries purchased at your local supermarket. Follow the link to my blog in the description box below, where you will find measurements and recipes for making blackberry jelly as well as homemade plum jelly. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, please click subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the box below.